YouTube, what it do? It's your boy, King Zay. Know what I'm saying? King Zay. Back with another reaction video, man. Today we got an NBA vid titled by, I think this is Gang. Yeah, Mike Kazemba. We got 5 stories that prove Ja Morant is not human. And man, I'm really excited to watch this video, so let's just get straight into it.
In a world dominated by the three-point shot, it is impossible not to notice just how special Ja Morant is. As an ultra-athletic highlight film of a player, it seems like every night the Grizzlies play, we can expect 2 things. 1, yet another gravity-defying moment by Ja, and 2, a win. As along with the Chicago Bulls and the Memphis Grizzlies have emerged as this season's surprise team. Currently sitting in 3rd in the Western Conference with a 30-14 record, both Ja and the Grizzlies are turning heads because this wasn't supposed to happen, which is actually not new. It's just very surprising. What's even more surprising is, as it stands right now, Ja Morant is on a path to give NBA fans what they desperately have wanted to see for the last decade. What would happen if Derrick Rose was never injured? That is how good Ja has been. That is not an exaggeration in any way. When we compare Ja's first season in the league to the youngest NBA MVP who has ever lived, we find as a rookie, Ja actually put better numbers on a similar level team, and now looking at year 3, the year Derrick Rose won his MVP, and would you look at that? Similar numbers and similar play styles. Athletic, attacking point guards who leave fans in awe while also winning basketball games. That is rare, right? But just how rare is it? So what's up, guys? Mike here, and today Ja Morant is rightfully getting inducted into the Not Human Hall of Fame. The list of players in this club includes Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, and Pete Maravich, among others, because in order to be considered not human, there has to be something insanely unique about you. And in the case of Ja Morant, he not only has the stats to back up this claim, but everything about his life points to one thing. Ja Morant is a basketball unicorn, just not the type we are used to. It might be shocking to hear, but in Ja's own words, my 11th grade summer going into my senior year is when I started dunking consistently. Before then, I'd probably get 1 dunk out of 25 tries. Ja also described himself as a short, slow guard and put himself at just 5'10" the summer before his senior season. 3 years later, Ja was not only 6'3", he could not only dunk, but now he also had a 44-inch vertical and could get his head to the rim. That is a drastic change. It is an amazing change, and it is a change that just seems not human. But we have heard this story before. The classic growth spurt turns a solid high school player into suddenly a future NBA All-Star, and most notably 3 other All-Star talents in the NBA today were blessed with this genetic lottery. And as you can see, while Anthony Davis did emerge as the #1 player in his class and signed with Kentucky, Gordon Hayward, Russ, and Ja did remain unranked, although Russ went to a powerhouse in UCLA, while Hayward went to a much bigger school than Ja in Butler, who now plays in the Big East and at the time was coached by former Celtics coach Brad Stevens. So all 3 of those players were correctly identified by great programs, and they thrived in college. Ja also thrived in college, but played in a much lower conference. Why? Well, unlike AD, Gordon, and Russ, Ja was not discovered in a normal way, and instead was found playing in a 3v3 basketball game by Murray State assistant James Cain. Cain was looking for a snack when he just so happened to discover the best player that will ever play for his college. And contrary to popular belief, while Murray State was the first school to offer Ja, once he was offered, he did receive attention from other schools, but out of loyalty, went to the place who recruited him first. But backtracking one line, almost certainly Ja will go down as the best player in Murray State history, but more importantly, in college, Ja made history, but not in the way you might think. Also, if you guys are enjoying this video, it would be awesome if you could subscribe and turn on post notifications, because that way you'll never miss a video. But also, we are on the grind for 2 million subscribers in 2022. If you like what you're seeing, it would be great if you did subscribe. Thank you, and let's get back to the video where Matt McMahon.
Stop right here. Like right there, and then it should cut to one of the other shots.
Bro, it's like that.
Ja's head coach at Murray State had this to say about Ja. He's a basketball
genius.
Look at,
yo. Dog. Do you see this? What the fuck?
A lifetime player. A genius? Interesting way to describe a high-flying guard, right? Well, once we look at Ja's second season in college where he fully broke out, where he fully became a national phenomenon, we are actually going to look right past the highlights and instead focus on Ja's advanced stats. It was mentioned a lot during this time period that Ja was the first player to ever average 20 points and 10 assists in a single college basketball season, which...
Wait, what? Ja Morant and...
say a lot, but diving even deeper, Ja also finished with the 6th most assists per game in a single college basketball season since 1986. His 10 assists per game in 2019 were more than Bobby Hurley ever put up for a single season, and Bobby Hurley is the all-time NCAA record holder for assists. That is impressive, but it gets better. Ja also led the NCAA in 2019 in assist percentage, where he ranks 2nd all-time since 2010, the year that people started keeping track of assist percentage. So when Matt McMahon describes Ja as a basketball genius, he was referring to Ja's incredible ability to control the game, choose his spots, know when to get his teammates involved, and when to score himself. We can't forget, on top of his historic passing numbers, Ja also put up 24.5 points per game as a sophomore, good for 7th in the entire nation. Which is why when we combine Ja's scoring stats with his passing numbers, that is where things begin to get out of control. As in terms of total points produced per game, again, Ja led the entire nation in 2019, and all-time he is 3rd. Just think about that for a second. This is a man who is known for his highlight plays, but when you dig into his stats, you don't find problems. You actually find out that he is more incredible than the eye test shows. The only 2 players ahead of Ja in all-time points produced per game in a single season are Marcus Keene and Trae Young. Trae Young, in his time in college, put up some absurd stats as well, averaging 27.4 points and 8.7 assists, and again, Trae finished as the top college basketball player of all time in points produced per game. Still, when Trae entered the draft, there were worries. Many saw him as a Steph Curry clone, and we already have seen guys such as Jimmer Fredette draw that comparison, draw that type of hype after having incredible college success, only to fail in the NBA. This, along with concerns about Trae's size and his physicality, did cause Trae to fall just a bit to number 5 in the draft, and the Hawks have reaped the benefits since. Trae's playmaking and basketball IQ at the point guard position set him apart from players like Jimmer, who simply did not have that same skill set. That is not to say that Trae doesn't somewhat fit into the Steph Curry / Damian Lillard mold, though. As in the modern NBA, most high-scoring guards take 3
Why are we talking about Trae Young? I thought this was a bit about Ja.
Points per game, other than Ja Morant, are currently averaging a combined 2.8 made threes a night on 7.9 attempts. 7 of these point guards and 5 can see Ja Morant does not. Because while Ja has not been completely immune to the rise in three-pointers in the NBA himself, he has shot just 4.2 threes a game this year, which would rank him just 9th on this list. However, looking back to the 2009 season, a season when 2 highly athletic point guards in Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook joined the NBA, we find that the amount of threes per game made by the top 10 point guards in 2022 equals the amount of attempts taken in 2009. That is how drastically three-point attempts in the NBA have increased, and that is also the reason why earlier in this video, I referred to Ja Morant as a new type of basketball unicorn, a term you may have heard of before. If you do forget what a basketball unicorn is, basically when Kristaps Porzingis emerged as a legitimate player in the NBA, the fact that he was a 7'3" big man with a much more complete offensive game than a normal giant center would have turned heads, to say the least. It was especially Kristaps' three-point shooting that set him apart, and so after a Thunder vs Knicks game during Porzingis' rookie season, it was actually Kevin Durant who first said that Kristaps Porzingis was a unicorn. Then from there, the term absolutely took off. Guys like Karl Anthony Towns and Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid were all seen as unicorns because as big men, they could do things other players simply could not do in the past. They were legitimate centers who could shoot from deep, pass at a high level, and still play their roles as a big man. The thing is though, a center who can do all of that coming into the NBA is no longer a unicorn, as they are no longer extremely rare. The game of basketball is always changing. We've recently seen a much more three-point shooting as referenced. We've seen extremely tall players handle the ball in transition with ease, such as Giannis and Ben Simmons and LeBron James. And again, we've seen centers become much more versatile, especially on the offensive end. So if all of these players are now starting to fit into a mold, who are the
one-legged three-pointers?
Well, at a high level, there is currently only one point guard in the entire league who can dunk like Ja, who can make athletic plays like Ja, who can win like Ja, and is also in the discussion for both All-Star starter and All-NBA this season. That man is, of course, Ja Morant, because circling back to the start of this video, we directly compared Ja to Derrick Rose because the only other insanely athletic point guards that have played at this high of a level this early in their careers were Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook. Now, we have seen how Russell Westbrook's career has gone. I'm not trying to hate on him in any way in this video, but he simply hasn't won a title, and if we're going off how much talent a player has versus how much success he's produced, I feel, as many feel, that Russ could have achieved more if he was a better decision maker, especially in the clutch. Ja Morant, at this point in time, has already proven that he not only can be clutch, but that also
no cappity cap, no kiddie map. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is insane.
Bradley with the deflection.
Ooh, Bradley been out there. What are you saying?
He can make the right decisions in the game's closing moments. And with the passing numbers we saw from Ja in college, really, this shouldn't be a surprise, but at the end of the day, whenever a player actually makes a leap to this level, it is a surprise because many top 3 picks do not ever become all-star starters, let alone all-star starters by their 3rd seasons. As of right now, Ja is on pace to become an all-star starter, and he's also on a historic pace in general. There have only been 4 players ever, not just point guards, players, who have averaged at least 24 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds per game in their 3rd season. Each of these players, Oscar Robertson, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Luka Doncic, are basketball legends or will be. If he were to finish this season with the same numbers he has right now, Ja Morant would join that historic list. He's that good, scratch good, he is that elite. So to wrap things up here, we really truly, when you think about it, have had only 3 ultra athletic point guards who, by their 3rd seasons, were producing at this high of a level. Which means, when it comes to Ja Morant, I feel like we have another true unicorn on our hands. Because while everyone else is shooting threes, Ja, with his athleticism, is still attacking the basket. He's still playing his style of basketball, and it has paid off big time. Again, the Memphis Grizzlies are 30-14 with a young core. This team is going to be scary for many years to
he's
come.
actually insane.
At least that's what we think now. Derrick Rose, it still pains me to say as a Bulls fan, was seen as a future all-time superstar only to get injured and never return to that superstar level. Oklahoma City fell apart for several reasons, some that included Russ, but some, like the Harden trade, that certainly did not include Russ. So just like anything in life, nothing is guaranteed. What's going to happen with Ja Morant? We're gonna find out. But if the past is any indication of the future, I think we're going to see some big things. So there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, it would be awesome if you could subscribe and turn on post notifications because we're on the way to 2 million subscribers. That is the goal in 2022. Let's hit it together. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for.
Yeah, man. I knew Ja Morant was good. Like, to be real, like when the whole, cause I'm a Zion fan. I've been watching Zion since high school. So I was like, somebody would be like, yeah, Ja is better than Zion. I'd be like, nah. But bro, like Zion, he can't remain healthy. So, you know, you can't remain healthy. The NBA is a business, bro. And like Ja Morant is just doing his thing, bro. Like, this is actually like, I know he was good, but this just blew my mind. But yeah, man, if y'all want to see me react to more NBA videos, man, you know, just comment down below what channel, what NBA channels, and what videos you want me to see. And in my future videos, I'm gonna put my Instagram link down below. I gotta make a whole other thing so y'all gonna see it at the bottom. I'm saying, so y'all can send vids to my Instagram and all that. But yeah, man, if you like the vid, you know, give me a thumbs up, like the vid, and subscribe. Peace.